So my son has a job now, and I feel like he should help me around the house with the bills. So I told him starting February.
No,
I told him starting February 1st, he's gonna start paying $500 a month. And then he's gonna start paying his cell phone. I've been paying his cell phone since he had a cell phone since he was 7. You paid your phone bill like 2 times. Anyway, parents, do you think he should start paying rent? He feels like he don't have to pay rent. You want to give your part real fast?
I'm 17, bro. What am I paying rent for?
You can't stay nowhere for free. You work.
I know. When I'm 18, I'll figure that out.
No, you're going to figure it out now. $500 a month. I don't care what he say. Either $500 or the door.
I'm standing here with my cousin, and she seems to think that if a child is in the household and they are working, that they should be given 25% of their money for room and board.
Yes.
No, not at all.
Yes.
No, not at all.
Yes.
Okay, so your daughter is about to be 16.
Right.
This type of thinking leads to generational poverty over and over.
Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, welcome on board. So this video has been making rounds on the internet. You know, a lot of people are saying the boy is feeling entitled. The fact that he stays with his mom and he's working, he's supposed to pay something, you know, in the rent or half of the rent, right? And I get it. We are all in hard times, right? People are finding it hard to, you know, pay the bills all by themselves, especially when you have someone staying under your roof and, you know, they work, you know, they are supposed to contribute, right? But again, this boy is under 18 years, and I feel as a parent it's your duty, you know, to house your children, you know, to house your child. It doesn't matter whether they are working or not, especially when they are under 20 years, right? Like, set them up for prosperity, set them up for generational, you know, wealth. You know, if I were the parent, I would say, okay, save your money, save up your money, but you can stay here, save up your money so that by the time you reach 18 or 20, at least you can get your own place, you know, and stay there, you know, but not that you be putting so much pressure on your teenage children with the fact that they work, that they should contribute into paying bills. They didn't ask to be born, they didn't ask to be here, you know, it's your responsibility. Yeah, I get it, this is the American culture, but back home in Africa, you have children, you know, staying up to 30 years in their parents' house. They might be working, yeah, they buy food, they buy stuff here and there, they contribute, they help, but you hardly hear, you know, our parents coming out to make sure that you must pay anything. They don't do that. But I get it, this is, you know, the American culture, and I guess everyone is, you know, finding it hard. Things are way more expensive, things are becoming hard. That's why I get it. People want to make sure that they teach their children to start paying bills, you know, right from, you know, when they are young, and it's kind of okay. But I feel these kids, you need to give them some slacks, you know, give them some break, you know, let them grow, teach them how to save. So guys, I don't know what you make out of this. Please drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think.
Over and over again. Now, it would be different if this person was 20, 25, 30, then cool. If they're not going to school, if they're not going to better themselves and they're not in a rough patch and they're not making minimum wage, charge them for the room. I think it's only right at that point. But we are talking about a 15, 16-year-old and you're charging this person room and board and whatever else you said. Why not get a savings account and act like you're taking the money for rent? And then when this person says, hey, I'm 19, 20, I think I want to go out and get my own place, you pull them to the side and say, hey, love, I was just joking. All this money that I've been taking from you over the past several years, I've been keeping it in the savings account for this very day. I'm going to pull it out and we're going to go help you find an apartment or whatever it is that you are seeking to find. I went to school with people who were gifted cars, who were gifted the ability to stay with their parents rent free. And lo and behold, those people didn't look like me. But then again, it's a mindset thing, and I'm gonna leave it there. Generational mindset thing that needs to be broken.
Listen to this.
Black parents make their children pay bills when they still live at home because Black parents hold their children accountable for their failed lives. If you have a successful Black parent, the last thing they're going to do is make you pay bills because they don't need you to. And I think that this is something that's done specifically in the poor Black community. And I don't think that it has anything to do with teaching you responsibility, teaching you about bills, or teaching you how to save. I think that it's done in retaliation. I think a lot of black parents hold resentment towards their kids because they had to put their life on hold in order to be a parent. I also feel like this is why when you get older, your parents make you feel like you owe them for being a parent, because they put aside so many of their life dreams and their career, and they made so many sacrifices.
She basically hit the nail on the head with that one. I mean, there's some things that I don't agree with what she said, but for the most part, everything that she said is pretty much spot on. I just never really understood why in general, like, parents, they'll have like a child that's like, you know, 19, 20 years old, still living at home, like has never moved out with them, nothing, and is basically just living at the house, and they start getting charged like $300, $400 to pay rent every single month. Like, I just don't understand that. Parents that start charging their children at such an early age, like 19, 20 years old, to be living at the house, basically working for them, it just doesn't make any sense to me, because now all you're doing is you're just putting your child in a hole, and now they have to kind of like dig themselves out of it. Like, the only way I can give like a parent that's charging their child to like live at the house, the only leeway I can grant them is if that child that they had moved out at like 19, 20, 21 years old. Let's say they got their own place, or they decided to go live with like a friend and have like a roommate situation going on. Then let's say like a year or two goes by and they're not able to afford their rent anymore, or something happened with them and their friend and now they can't live there anymore, so now they have to like move back in basically. I can understand that parent being like, all right, well, if you're moving back in, you know, you're gonna have to start paying me rent money like $200 or $300 or something like that, just until they can get back on their feet to be able to move out and live on their own again. Because in my eyes, it's a little bit different when the child already moved out and is coming back in, versus if they were already living at the house and they were, you know, not living there paying rent at all. Especially like if you're considering like that child did like everything that that parent asked them to do, you know, went to college, got a job, all that other stuff. I think it's kind of messed up when a parent will do that to their child. And yes, I obviously know like this only isn't a black person thing. Like, there's white people, Hispanic people, Asian people who all have parents that charge them bills. But I know for a fact like it's mostly rampant like when it comes to like the black community. I know plenty of people that are white, Hispanic, Asian, you know, what I just listed, and none of them had their parents charge them to like basically live at the house. But I know plenty of black people that I'm cool with where their parents were charging them like $300, $400 for like rent, or paying the electric bill and a whole nother bundle of other stuff. And this is why, like, when it comes to our community, we don't have no generational wealth to really build on, because you got parents out here having children, waiting for those children to turn 18, 19 when they get their first job, and then start asking them for money and asking them for money just to live at the house. Like, I just don't understand.
You know, parents who charge their kids like rent and utilities, you're actually doing a really good job at making them not want to speak to you ever again. Because how are you more happy than your child that they got the job? You care more than them. It's just like, you cannot wait for the chance to be able to profit off of your kids. Look, I'm not even saying that you can't look for no ROI, you know, eventually, cool, whatever, your kid might wanna give back to you. But by forcing it upon them to the point where they have pretty much no choice, right? Because they can't just say no to you because you're just gonna, you know, kick them out. You're not really teaching them how to pay their way, or you're not really teaching them how to save or money management. You're not actually doing those things. You're just making them not want to talk to you when they don't need you anymore.
I totally disagree. Unfortunately, no hate to that creator. I totally 110% disagree. The fact that he said, oh, maybe your child would want to pay utilities or rent is very telling to me. I absolutely don't understand how men specifically, or even women, right, are in their own parents' house after the age of 18, leeching off their parents, right? You know your parents still have to pay rent and bills, but you decide not to pay anything due to the fact that they're your parents. This is absolutely backwards. If you're still in the house at the age of 18 and you're not paying your parents any type of rent or doing any type of legwork to help him out, you're a leech. You're a leech. I've always said after 18, you should be looking to move out of your parents' house as soon as possible. This is why a bunch of men and women are very unproductive individuals, because how can you be a productive individual if you're in a comfortable state every single time? You would not find a man who makes money as quick as he possibly can in a comfortable state. You are a productive individual when you know it's all dependent on you, because that's how it should be as an adult. It's all dependent on you to make that money. Leave your parents' house if you're not paying no rent, because you don't deserve to be there. And if you are even paying rent, after the age of 18, you should be looking to move out eventually. Don't stay there and be a leech. This is why men and women are unproductive and we complain about the economy. You're not adding anything to the economy and you're complaining. You're an unproductive individual complaining about the economy, complaining about there's no jobs. What are you adding to the economy to even make there be more jobs in the first place? People don't know how the ecosystem even works. They don't know how it works, but they complain a lot about it. And parents who want you to be in the house while not paying rent to save up money are doing you an injustice. In my opinion, they're doing you an injustice, because what they're doing is keeping you in a comfortable state, while others are out there busting their ass to make ends meet, to better themselves, to better their lifestyle, and not to leech off of their parents. Because how can you say that someone is saving money or learning how to save money when they have no financial responsibility? You learn how to save money when you have financial responsibility. You're not paying no rent, you're not paying no utility. You're just keeping money. You're not saving money. You're not learning anything. How to learn how to properly save your money is by budgeting, because you have money that is coming out of your account through rent, utilities. Then in that way, you can learn how to properly save your money. Not because nothing is coming out of your account. That's just you getting money and keeping it. That's not learning how to save anything at all. If you are over the age of 18, you should be 110% paying rent or pushing your own weight somehow in the household. If not, you should be leaving. In fact, even if you are paying the rent, you should be looking to leave and get your own place. Push your own weight in the world. Being a man child or a woman child, and get out the house and be a productive individual of society.
Are you financially supporting your adult children? And are you an adult living at home with your mama? Woo, we about to make it hot. I'm Frank Ski, and I'm just frankly speaking. Listen, there's a major shift in the black community right now. Adult kids are moving back home in record numbers. But let me be clear. This is not about shaming adult children. This is about creating structure that they don't have. Because a lot of parents right now are carrying grown children late into their 20s and even 30s, financially, emotionally, mentally, and it's creating real stress in the black household. So like a lot of you, I left home 2 weeks after graduating high school. No plan, no money, nothing. I struggled a lot. Eviction notices, car repossessions, but struggle built my character. So what's going on now? Kids 25 and 30 years old living at home? Listen, I understand the economy is crazy. Rent is outrageous. Groceries cost too much. Jobs are disappearing. And a lot of people are one paycheck away from being in trouble. So yes, sometimes adult children got to move back home. But sometimes parents also got to help. And here's where I draw the line so that we're clear. Support without structure turns into dependency. And that's the problem. If your adult child is moving back home, there's got to be a plan. There's not, we'll figure this thing out, don't worry. Hell no. What are you working towards? How long do you plan on being here? And what are you contributing to the household? Because grown people should not be living anywhere for free. You heard what I said, and I said it. There needs to be a timeline. You can't be an adult living at home, but still partying on the weekends and traveling with your friends to Miami and Cancun. You got a life to live. You got to have responsibilities. I know adults right now that are living at home with their parents, paying their parents $250 a month rent. What? McDonald's pays $400 a week. Love does not mean living rent-free. No responsibilities and no timeline. And that's all I had to say. And somebody had to damn well say it. Am I wrong? Am I right? Let me know. Are you in this situation? Let me know in the comments. I'm Frank Ski, and I'm just Frank.
So my son has a job now, and I feel like he should help me around the house with the bills. So I told him starting February.
No,
I told him starting February 1st, he's gonna start paying $500 a month.
I'm 17, bro. What am I paying rent for?
You can't stay nowhere for free. You work.
I know. When I'm 18, I'll figure that out.
No, you're gonna figure it out now. $500 a month.
Instead of allowing him the opportunity to save his money, right? This is his first job. You want to take $500 out of his pocket every month to pay bills. Your son, your flesh and blood, your child. Don't make me mad. Because at the end of the day, at some point in time, he's gonna move out. He's gonna be in his, his own place, and he has to pay his own bills. Why not allow him to get to that point, though? Why? I just never understood why certain parents, right, are so willing to take money out of their kids' pockets. Like why? To make matters worse, he's not even above the age of 18 yet. Like, you're literally charging a minor. Like, charging a minor to live is just, I mean, that's ridiculous. It sounds crazy. And the fact that you really thought your comments were going to agree with you just tells me everything I need to know about how delusional you are.
I get the concept that if you live with your parents, you have to follow their rules. But if they make you pay $900 a month for rent, there should be no rules. That's the price my mom had me paying rent at 16 years old, nigga. And she still wouldn't let anyone go to the kitchen after 9 o'clock. She wouldn't let anyone use the washer and dryer after 10. She wouldn't allow me to have any visitors over. She would constantly disrupt my peace, wake me up every single morning. Then she gets mad when I get mad. Like, bitch, I don't want to wake up this early. Why are you waking me up? I'm giving you $900 and you're still bothering me like I'm living here for free. On top of that, if I didn't have full-blown conversations, play board games with her every fucking day, talk to her every fucking second that she was at the house, she would claim that I was being disrespectful and that, we're a family and we have to talk to each other. Like, bitch, I get we're a family and we got to talk to each other, but I don't want to talk all day. I'm not the type to just want to talk. I want to say hey, hi, and bye. Living with her was probably one of the most draining things I've ever done. And at $900, I could have went and got my own fucking apartment. That's the crazy part.
I had some parents putting out their kids because they refused to pay part of the bills, right? The last guy that said that he paid the bills, like about $900, but the mom still wanna control him. Like, if he pays the bill, he should be able to do whatever he wants to do, right? Because he's paying half of the bill. So he's as good as staying on his own in a way, but he's under your roof, right? But I get it, we all fall in hard times and things are becoming, just like I said, very hard for people. But I guess, these kids didn't ask to be here. A lot of adults are going back to their parents' house because mortgages, rents are skyrocketing, and the salaries are not meeting up or are not equating the way rents are going up. So I would appreciate that if you have a child or if you have children and you see them working at least, but what you can do is help them to save. Like, by the time they save, they can go get their own little place and start their lives, right? But rather than putting so much pressure on them at this early age, so it's kind of crazy, and I really understand. But again, we can do better as parents, because these kids things are harder these days. Cut them some slacks. So guys, if you have come far in this video, thank you for stopping by. But before you do that, hit on the subscribe button, hit on the like button, hype this video, hit on the notification bell in order not to miss any of my videos. See you in the next one. Have a blessed day.